What's up, wild people? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Alexandria Denise and I'm going to be clearing out the garden today. So if you watched my last video, you'll know that these are my second batch. These pumpkins here, I tried germinating them sometime in July. First batch didn't work out. Now I'm doing this one and it looks like they're pretty much outgrowing the pot that I put them in. So my goal here is to move this one as well as some of the others over here to this trough. I'm going to clear out those zucchini. Looks like they've run their life cycle. And I might even clear out some of my tomatoes. I know this is a red heirloom tomato plant, so it's that one, and this one's a stripe. This one hasn't been doing quite so well, so I think it's time for that one to go too. But either way, it's my first batch of pumpkins, first time growing them, so excited. It looks like they grow pretty darn fast. Now, I usually take about 100 days for pumpkins to mature. And this one is growing pretty rapidly, so if it's not ready by late October, around Halloween time, at least it'll be good for some good old Thanksgiving dinner for pumpkin pie. So I'm gonna see what I can make of these guys. So I have my zucchini plants here. It's run its course. This one hasn't been so good with producing a lot of zucchini. I see I have one right there, but it tends to do that a lot. It'll grow some zucchini and then the zucchini will just wither away and die. I've kept these pretty well watered, and as you can see with these little white specks that's in the soil here, I've been fertilizing the soil like crazy. Now I had a spaghetti squash plant growing somewhere right here, and I had to recently rip that away. I got some pretty good fruit off that. I got some pretty good melons off that one, but this one has actually been the star of my garden. This has given me some really good zucchini plants, but as you can see, it's run its course. It's pretty withered away. It's out of there, so it's done a good job. That'll do. Looks like a lot of insects been wreaking havoc on it too, and that's all right. Just gonna pull these on up from the roots here. And it's time for you to go too, buddy. All right. So next, I'm just gonna take the shovel, stuck it over here somewhere. Just kind of dig out some of these roots. And these are pointless. Now, a lot of the soil I'm about to just get out of here. The soil that I use lasts about a good 9 months as for feeding, but since pumpkins take a lot of nutrition from the soil, it's good to just kind of go ahead and replenish that. Want to make sure that they have plenty of good start for their roots. And so I'm just going to transfer a lot of this soil, or the majority of it, over into this pot. An avocado seed. Yeah, let's dry rot it. Oh, that's a good thick root. Gotta go dump this again. Well, while working in my trough bed here, I actually dug up half of an anthill. Looks like they've been having a party out here. So, this is one thing that you really have to get under control when you plant any type of fruits, vegetables, are the ants, because the ants will wreak havoc on a lot of your crops. I can't even keep strawberries because of them. I do have some ant poison in the house, though this year they haven't really done so much to my soil or so much to make me need to use it, you know. But see them carrying a lot of their little babies around. These little white things here are eggs. So I just got done clearing out the majority of the trough here. I got the bigger pieces of like the roots and everything that was underneath it. Had to till the soil around just to mix up some nutrients, but looks pretty good. I think I'm ready to set the pumpkins in, but I'm gonna put a fresh bag of soil in here because, well, the soil that I already have in here, it feeds for about 9 months, but I'm sure my other plants have ripped the majority of the nutrition from that. But I'm putting in a new bag, which is the Nature's Care. It's specifically for like raised flower beds and everything, but it only gets me up to 2 months of feed, which is kind of going to be the life of the pumpkins anyway, so I really don't have to go too far over that. But I just left some of it there, tilled the soil around a little bit, knocked off some ants, and now I'm about to put the new soil in as well as the pumpkins. This whole bag is going in here. Gonna till this around, knock off some of the big pieces. All right, big guy. As well as you. Okay, so I got some decisions to make. Obviously, this one has outgrown a lot of the ones that's in the pots. Probably because this one has a lot more roots room to stretch its roots in this pot here. So no doubt it's going to do really, really well in this trough. So of course that one has to go in there. But of this one, they're pretty wilted right now because well, I haven't watered them and they don't have enough roots room to just dig deep and get water that they need. And that's another thing about pumpkins. You don't want the soil too moist because you could cause like roots rot. So I read. If anybody has grown pumpkins and knows some more about that, feel free to leave a comment down below. But makes sense. But at the bottom of this trough, water of course can get out. So I'm not so much worried about overwatering anything or, you know, soaking the soil because it gets pretty hot out here in Georgia. So I'm going to be really careful when digging up this plant. Loosen up the soil. Looks like it's coming out pretty easy. All right. I think it'll do well right here. Now this one, I had 3 in this pot. Looks like the other one died, but these survived. That's all I'm worried about. There we go. And this one. It's a piece of this root and it'll live. So it looks like this trough right here is full. I'm not gonna overcrowd it. 4 should be enough for this size. But what I'm gonna do is this leftover plant that I have here, I'm gonna move it over here in this one, as well as this one over here, and see how well they do. This is how I have to bring water to them. So I'm going to use these extra fishing worms that I just had saved up for my last fishing trip. I thought it would be better to put them in the flower bed instead of, you know, just wasting away in the back of the refrigerator. Go, be free. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you like, leave it a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates on my little pumpkin patch. But I I think they're gonna do pretty well. I'm not sure about the spacing though, how deep pumpkins have to be or how far apart they have to be, but I think that they'll do pretty good, especially if my zucchini, if I had 2 zucchini plants and a squash plant in there and they thrive just fine, I don't think the pumpkins would have a problem. I know watermelon requires a lot of space, but nah, I didn't do too good on that this season anyway. But I watered them, put some worms in them, and well, I plan to fertilize them a little later on. I think it's still a little too early for fertilizer, but of course I put the new soil on the top, so that way when the rainwater comes through, it can wash the nutrients down to the bottom and it'll encourage the roots to grow a little deeper into the trough. So, but until then, it has some mulch in there built in to kind of trap in moisture, which is something they desperately need. Anything like melons or pumpkins, that they need a lot of water. So, but you don't want to overdo it because you know you can damage the roots, especially if the water has no escape. So you do want to make sure if you're going to build a trough like this to drill some holes at the bottom or make sure that water can seep through somehow. I didn't quite get around to my tomato plants today, but definitely they'll go sometime in the future. I don't think that I'll be planting anything else, but I also have to snip away the strawberry. They have pretty much cloned themselves now and running wild over there, so I might give those away to some people, but until then, you know, we'll see what makes of it. I am curious to know if it's going to be looking like Jack and the Beanstalk over here, you know, just stuff growing everywhere. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks, and I will see you guys next time, but until then, stay wild.